Hello again, Magma WK. What am I doing here? Yes, I'm here again, except higher level, because by golly, you can guess what happened to me and that sword. That sword wanted to be pretty. Radia has gained a few new spells. At level 47, she learned Quake, which really isn't that powerful by the time you get it, especially if you have Bahamut. And of course, Bolt 3. Yes, Bolt 3. It's the delicious bolt that's number 3. That made no sense. Anyway, since we have a floaty sword over here, I just figure we should be floaty too. Just because we're special. But there are no traps on the floor. Why would you possibly need float magma? Well, of course, this sword, as you would guess, is guarded. And the sword is mad. Why? Because it's a white dragon. White dragon having 33,000 hit points, and can be very devastating, as you see from how hard it can hit. And how quickly it can hit too. But it also has some nasty counterattacks if you use the wrong magic. So keep your hit points high. See what happens if you use something real powerful like Bahamut, for example. It will attempt to do this to you. Sure, Bahamut's very powerful, especially when Radia is using it, but he tries to use Quake. No rage for you. And now he's trying some nasty tricks, including Stop. Also, he will have a few other tricks. Let's see if he does them. He might not do them in this fight. But by golly, if you can't ride the storm, you're in big trouble. So hopefully, you have something ready to counter that. Like Azura. Or preferably Cure 4. So, thank goodness we have Blink and Image available. And big old Cure. That's great luck. Great luck is always needed. But it gets harder as you get slower, by golly. Because not everybody can be a ninja. Because Edge has to protect his image after all. He can protect himself, especially. And if you have stars, which I bought, you should definitely use them. And hopefully you have casted Float. Otherwise that Quake will do around 500 to 1000 damage to all your characters. And for our tremendous troubles, we get a very powerful sword. The Murasama. However you say it, I don't care. It's for Edge. And it will increase his power a huge amount. And let's get that better sword there, so you can see his full power. Yes, he has attack power of 155, which is pretty sexy actually. In fact, it's probably even higher than... Nope, Cecil's still sexy. You notice Kane came with Jinji armor and a Gunther spear. I chose an Agus shield just for a little bit more magic defense for Kane, because his magic defense is a little bit low. Also, if you choose to, defensive sword. That will increase his power. Now, what else do I have? I have a few extra items with me. You see, I also have the items, which since it's the 100th episode, I'm gonna eat delicious, delicious apples. And one moment while I check their effects one more time, make sure I give them to the right people. Oh, here I am. The gold apple, that will increase max hit points by 100. Let's give that to Radia, since she has low max hit points. But wouldn't give them they're your fighters? Well, your fighters will eventually get around 9,000 or more max hit points. So, doesn't make much difference. And Roddy, you'd think I would give her the SomaDrop, which increases max magic points by 10. But I was just giving it to Rosa, actually, because Rosa does not have Psych and cannot get her magic points up without an ether. So she has to rely on wine and ethers. Yes, she is an etherholic. And we're working on curing that right now. Moving on, shall we? This is just one of the many paths along the moon core here. In this game, Final Fantasy IV, yes. And there are also plenty of treasure chests down here in the moon's core. But let's take the alternative path first. Make sure we get all that delicious treasure. As you see, I came from the left path. And of course there's a regular path. And then there's a to the right path, or an east path. And then there's some more forks in the road along the way. Why am I beating the red giant? Because I feel like it right now. Also, if you use a really powerful spell against the red giant, like Bahamut for example, and if it survived, it would have detonated, and that means its remaining hit points would be damaged to one of your characters. So be careful when blasting too early. Also, special item, Venomax. Quite rare, but as you know, Venomax, not really that good. But we can sell it for a lot of extra gil. So I'm going back up to the surface here. We can always go back to the moon's core and recover my health with the pots. Don't try to take this in one trip, or you might find yourself in big trouble. The moon's core. So I highly suggest recovering when you can. Don't be afraid to cast exit either. Don't be afraid to run. Because the better part of valor is knowing when to flee. And when not to take stupid fights just because you're feeling cocky. magmawk, be right back.